On a remote tropical island during the Second World War, 22 Australian nurses were ordered to walk into the sea. Moments later, machine gun fire shattered the silence. 21 women died where they stood. Somehow, one survived. Her name was Vivian Bullwinkel, and for decades she carried a secret that would become one of Australia's most extraordinary wartime stories. The island was Bangka, just off the eastern coast of Sumatra in what is now Indonesia. In February 1942, Japanese forces swept rapidly through Southeast Asia after the fall of Singapore. Thousands of Allied soldiers, civilians, and nurses attempted to escape by sea, but many never made it. Bangka Island became an unexpected crossroads of desperation, where survivors hoped for rescue but instead encountered one of the darkest episodes in Australian military history. Among them was 26-year-old Australian Army nurse Vivian Bullwinkel from Kapunda, South Australia. Like many of her fellow nurses, she had volunteered to save lives. None imagined they would soon be fighting simply to stay alive themselves. On the 12th of February, 1942, Vivian was aboard the civilian ship SS Vyner Brooke when Japanese aircraft attacked in the Bangka Strait. Bombs exploded across the decks as smoke filled the tropical sky. The ship sank quickly, throwing passengers into oil-covered water littered with wreckage. After hours drifting through rough seas, Vivian and 21 other Australian nurses reached Radji Beach on Bangka Island. Exhausted, soaked, and believing they would be treated as prisoners of war, they made a heartbreaking decision. The nurses comforted one another, adjusted their uniforms, and calmly walked towards Japanese soldiers waiting on the beach. The soldiers ordered the women to wade into the ocean. Shoulder to shoulder, they obeyed. Then came the burst of machine gun fire. The women fell into the shallow water as bullets tore through the line. The waves turned crimson. The sounds of the jungle returned, broken only by the surf washing over the fallen. Vivian was hit by a single bullet that passed through her body without killing her. Wounded but conscious, she remained perfectly still beneath the water, pretending to be dead while Japanese soldiers left the beach. When darkness fell, she crawled ashore in agony. Nearby, she found British soldier Private Kingsley Rafferty, himself wounded during the invasion. Together, they attempted to survive in the dense tropical jungle before eventually surrendering, believing medical treatment would save them. Instead, they entered one of Japan's harshest prisoner-of-war camps. For more than 3 years, Vivian endured starvation, tropical disease, forced labor, and constant uncertainty. Despite her own suffering, she continued nursing fellow prisoners with almost no medicine, using determination and compassion where equipment no longer existed. Remarkably, she never revealed that she had survived the massacre. She feared Japanese guards would execute her if they discovered she was the only witness. When the war ended in August 1945, Vivian emerged weighing barely 40 kilograms. Yet she carried something far more important than her own survival. She carried the truth. Her testimony became the principal eyewitness account used to investigate and prosecute those responsible for the Bangka Island Massacre. Without her courage, one of Australia's greatest wartime atrocities might never have been fully understood. Today, the Bangka Island Massacre remains one of the most powerful stories in Australian military history. Vivian Bullwinkel devoted the rest of her life to nursing, supporting veterans and ensuring the sacrifice of her fellow nurses was never forgotten. Memorials across Australia honour the women who stood together on Radji Beach, while Vivian's extraordinary survival reminds us that sometimes history depends upon a single witness finding the strength to live. In the end, Vivian Bullwinkel didn't survive simply by chance. She survived so the voices of 21 brave Australian nurses would never disappear beneath the waves of Bangka Island. If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more forgotten, unusual and fascinating chapters of Australian history, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. New videos are released regularly, exploring the places, people, and events that help shape Australia, often hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.